5 Pakistan time. We will start. Thank you, Wasim, Mandisa, Daud, Saeed, Hafsa, Anas, and Shams. Okay, class. So we are starting. Please let me know everything is clear, voice is being heard, and screen is being viewed. Okay. So in last class, uh, what we started to learn was the basic of SQL. What is SQL? Then we started to look into the schema. We prepared the schema, right? So the thing that I want you all to be doing today is have this schema visible to you. Please open this schema alongside. I am pasting the link of last class in the chat, right? And keep this schema open in another tab because we will be requiring this schema very frequently when we do our exercises today. So you need to look back into the schema at every few minutes in order to get the exercise done, right? And in last class we stopped at this exercise where we were able to select different columns from a table, right? And how we selected different column from the table is using select statement, and then writing the column names along with the comma, and then the table name from where we want to select, then semicolon, and execute our command, so we will be able to select multiple columns, right? Similarly, if we want to select all the columns from a table, we use the steric or regex expression or regular expression to select all the columns from a table. So this was the last class task that we did, right? So today we will start with data types. So what are the data types? Okay, you are not hearing me. Uh, Let me check. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Please let me know if it is now audible to you. I have changed certain settings. Cool. So I was saying in last class we started with the SQL statement. Uh, I'm pretty much confused now because some of you are saying that voice is clear and some are saying voice is not clear. So what's the scene here? Is it clear? It's fine now. Okay, okay, cool. So we are starting. We concluded our last class with two queries, right? When we want to select all the column, we use regex expression, that is the steric, and we select all the column. And if we want to select individual column, then we use select. Then we enter different column names that we want to select along with comma, and then the table name and when we execute this, then we will be able to select different columns from our table. So in today's class we will be starting with the data types. So there are different data types that you can store in an SQL database, right? And any column, it is to be noted that any column can only accept one data type. So they can be any 2 or 3 data types within in a column, single column. This is a thing to be noted down. The very common data types are numbers, and these are just numbers 1, 2, 3. And then we have variable character varchar, and these include string, letters, characters, and it could include numbers also. And then we have date, right? And there are different formats of date for every database. There some are DDMMYY, or day, month, and year. Some are month, day, and year. Some are month written in numerical form. In some databases, month written in descriptive form, and it is interchangeable. The key thing to note there here is that when we write strings, or when we use strings, we need to use single quotation or double quotes for it, and for numbers we do not need double quotes. So this you will practice as we go on into further exercise. So right, so after select and from, these were the 2 statements that we studied in last class. The next is distinct. So what does distinct do? Distinct clause selects only the distinct values from a column, right? For example, let's say that if we have a column and there are different names within a column, and so in distinct we will be able to select only the distinct or unique values from a column. So this is what distincts do, right? I think the sorry, my bad. Class page is gone. Let me go back to the class page. Right, so here we were. So in distinct column we select only distinct value, right? So the thing is, how you use distinct is you use select and then distinct and then column name from the table, and you will be able to select distinct value from a table. And after the distincts, what we have is a where statement. So what does where does? For where, it is simply you can say we want to select certain values, and you want to put filters on it, right? So let's see, if we have a table with a column of persons, and as well as we have the let's say persons, and we have countries within those persons, right? So I think the stream, what's happening today is I am a little bit confused why the stream is being broken. So I think I have sorted it now. Please let me know if everything is okay on the stream side. Guys, please let me know if everything is okay on the stream side. It was broken at my end. Okay, so in distinct let's say that we have different columns and name, right? So if I see a table let me draw a table. So if I have a column with the name of person, and if I have the column with name of country, right? I have two columns, and in the column I have three persons name, John and Jane and Doe, let's say, and we have their countries written as Pakistan, and then for Jane we have a country, let's say, written South South Africa, and for Doe we have a country of, again, let's say, Pakistan. So if you want to select uh, the person according to the country name, right? So you want to select the person whose country is Pakistan. So how you will select the person whose country is Pakistan, right? So for this purpose, you use a where command, right? And you use where command, and from where, when you filter it out that I only want to select persons with the country is equal to Pakistan, then it will select only the person with the country name of Pakistan, that is John and that is Doe, right? And uh, how to use distinct here is that, let's say I want to select I want to know how many countries are in this database, right? So if I select distinct and from country, right, it will give me Pakistan and South Africa only. And if I do not use distinct, then I will get two times Pakistan and one time South Africa. So this is the difference for using distinct, and where is used for filtering out. And we will see during the course when we start exercise, uh, then we will be better able to explain the purpose of where and distinct. So when you use where, you definitely need to compare something, right? And so what by comparison, what that I mean, that when you use distinct when you use where clause, sorry, so when we use where, so you are comparing a condition that A and B, and A and B need to be compared. And how you can compare it? You can compare it with comparison operators. So what are the basic comparison operators within SQL? You have less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to, and equal to. So for example, less than and equal, less than, where you can use less than, let's say you have a date and you want to get all the records which are prior to that date, then you use less than side. Similarly, if you have a number, let's say salary, and you want to select records which are greater than that salary, then you use greater than sign. Less than and equal to, greater than, these are all simple mathematical operators that we use in our daily life and we use in SQL as it is. The most unique operator here is not equal to, right? It can be represented by two ways, by less than, greater than sign combined, or by factorial equal to. This is a not equal to sign, and we use a lot, most of the time we use not equal to balance out condition, then there is equal to, right? So key thing to note here is, during comparison, any numeric characters or number based character do not require quotes to be present, but any varchar or character types, strings type character where you are comparing, you need to have equal quotation signs with them, right? So we will start by doing the first exercise here. We refer back to our schema during the conduction of this exercise. So the exercise is, very first question, the HR manager needs to know about the salary of employee number 120, right? So what does the HR manager needs? HR manager needs the information of salary for employee number 120. So let's get back to our schema. from where we can get the salary and employee ID for this particular question. So if we look into the employees table, we have the employee ID and we have the salary information. So what was the question? The question was HR manager needs HR manager needs to know about the salary of employee 120. So let's formulate a query for this. So first of all, I need to look into the table, that how the table look like, and this is not a necessary step. This is just I am explaining to you how we formulate query. You do not need to look into the table every time that you prepare the okay, here's the mistake. HR dot select all from HR dot employees, and this is the employees table. So in the employees table we have the employee ID and we have the salary. So what was our task? Our task was that HR manager required the salary information for employee 120. So how we can formulate a query for that is, let's say select number one. What we want to select, we want to select the employee ID, right? This is the first thing, because the employee ID mentioned in the question is 120, and the second thing that we require is the salary of this employee, right? Now if I select it from HR dot employees, so I will get all the columns, all the data entries for the employee IDs and salary, right? But I need it for the employee ID of 120 only. So how I can do that? Do this. So for this, we need to use where. It will filter it out, and what I filter out, I will filter out employee ID, where employee ID is equal to 120. Since this is a number, I do not require quotation marks, but let's say if it was a name, then I will be using quotation mark it. So I say employee ID 120 and I run the query, then I filter out the salary information of employee 120. So let's say you can include another more column in it, like, and let's go back to the schema. We have first name and last name also, so we can enter here first name and last name also, and if we run it, so first name, spelling is wrong, first name and last name. So the employee number 120 is Matthew Weiss, whose salary is 8,000. So please practice this and share the screenshot in the Slack channel for me. So are you guys doing it? Please open your Oracle Live SQL and share the screenshot with me in the Slack chat on live channel. I will not move forward until unless I receive at least one screenshot. So again, the question was HR manager needs to know the salary information of employee 120. Unable to log into live SQL account, Altaf, showing some error. Can you share the screenshot? What is the error that is being shown to you? Anyone able to do this exercise, please? Thank you, Wasim. Thank you, Melissa. Right. So you guys are able to do this. So we will move forward with the next exercise. The next exercise is he asked you to collect unique job IDs from the employees table. Now, if we look back into the employees table, select all from HR.employees. So we have the job IDs here. Okay, so the question was select unique job IDs from the employee table. So in order to select unique job IDs, so here you can see this is the job ID column and we have repeated value, right? So if I simply select job IDs from this, select job ID from HR.employees. Now see what will happen. I will get the duplicate. Okay, so if I simply select job IDs, I am getting the duplicate values also in this column, and the question was to select unique. By unique we means there will be no duplicates, right? For this purpose we use distinct, right? Distinct ds, and then I enclose it in parenthesis, and now if I run this, it removes the duplicated, it removed all the duplicates and it is giving me unique job ID from the HR.employees table. So please do this also and see if you are able to select unique job IDs from the employees table. Awesome, Melissa, thank you. Anyone else having a problem with this? So I hope you were able to do this. This is a fairly simple exercise where we able to select unique job IDs. Now for next exercise, the HR manager needs to know the first name, job ID, salary for all employees who earn less than 10,000 rupees. Now here we will be requiring to use comparison operator, right? So what we require first name, we require job ID, and we require salary. So where we can get this information from? So if we move back to our schema and compare it with the question, so first name, job ID, salary, these are the three columns that we require. So first name, job ID and salary, these three columns are present in employees table, so we will be using employees table. But the condition here is that these employees should be having salary less than or equal to 10,000, right? So let's formulate a query for this. How we will formulate a query? So select first name, then the second thing that required was job ID, the third thing that required was salary. and the table that we selected for this exercise was employees table, right? So from HR dot employees. Now the condition part. The condition in the question is this information should be of the persons who are earning less than or equal to 10,000. So we use where to filter her out. Where salary is less than or equal to 10,000. Since this is a numerical value, we do not need to put quotations marks here. And now if we run this, so we will get first name, job ID and salary of all the employees who are earning less than or equal to 10,000. Like, so here we see Janet, who is a sales representative, she is earning 10,000, and Peter, who is also a sales representative, earning 10,000, but there is no one which is earning more than 10,000 because of the condition that we put here, which was salary less than or equal to 10,000. So please do this exercise also. Yasin, this class will be recorded and available on the website, so you can take this from recorded session. Awesome, awesome, Mandisa. You were able to do this. Daud, you were also able to do this. Thank you. Okay, the table of view do not exist. Wasim, from HR.employees, you did not included the database name. That's why it's not visible. Please include HR.employees, and it will be sorted out. Awesome. So let's move on to the next exercise. This was the solution of this exercise that we were doing, right? And most of you were able to do this. So now the HR manager wants to know all the information of stock clerks. So by all means everything he requires from the information of stock clerk. So stock clerk is a job ID, right? Job ID, and we get all the information of stock clerk from the employees table. So here lies an interesting problem that we face in our daily life as an analyst. So if I select all the information from the employees table, sorry, it will throw an error. It is employees table. So what is the job ID? So the question simply said, or the manager simply said stock clerk, right? But when you look into the table or in the job ID, you do not have stock clerk mentioned as it is stock clerk. So there will be a short form of stock clerks, like here it is PU clerk, and this is the short form of stock clerk, right? So select all from HR.employees, and if I put a filter here where job ID, since this is a text, therefore I need to enclose it in the quotation. So this was the short form for stock clerk. Now it will only show me the all the informations of job ID stock clerk, right? So please do this exercise also. I'm going back to my Oracle screen to have the visibility for you for comparison. Yes, Daud. Once, if you are not familiar with the database, so you need to check the whole database. And if you are familiar with the database, then you will becoming more acquainted to a database, and you will be able to identify it without looking into the table. So a simple way for looking at what are the job IDs is I can select distinct job ID from HR dot employees in the very first place, right? So it will give me it should give me the unique job IDs present in the table, and from these unique job IDs I can see what is the short form for stock clerk. So in this way I will not be required to look into the complete database. So as you move on and as you start doing practice and keep practicing it, you will come up with the shortcut. Is there a word in the column whether that I guess there is also a method. Query searches for word in the column whether the word is in the present or beginning or end. Maybe yes, there it is. It is called wildcard search. It is a little bit advanced topic. We will be discussing it in the next class, that is tomorrow, once you guys are familiar with the basic filtering. So it is called wildcard search, Altaf, and yes, we have a method to select to filter out at certain, let's say, combination of character or unique characters present at any place within a column. We can search by that also. So let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, so in the next questions, he needs you to gather all the information on unique manager IDs from department, right? So now it is telling me the table unique manager IDs and department. So if I look into the department table, I have department ID, department name, manager ID, and location ID. So the manager is asking me all the information for unique managers IDs. So let's first check out what's the table for departments look like from, and this is just an exploratory analysis that I used to do. Uh, it's not necessary. If you know the database, you can directly go on to the query, but when you work as an analysis, as an analyst, you certain times required to explore the data and then come up with the solution. So if I look into okay, Akmal, no data from employees where job ID is equal to stock clerk. The complete clerk, Akmal, needs to be in the caps. So remember in the first class when we were discussing, if something is in quotation marks, so it is case sensitive, and if it is not in quotation mark, then this is case sensitive. So if since we are putting it stock clerk in the quotation mark, so the clerk thing needs also to be in caps. So do it and you will be solving your problem. So coming back to our question, the question was to select unique information, all the information of the managers with unique manager ID, right? This was the question. So simply we put a filter here. So how will we doing this? We will be selecting distinct manager ID, and we will get the information that how from HR dot departments, and these are the distinct or unique manager IDs within the departments table. So this is a simple one. Please do this also, and we will move on to a particularly little bit complex concept which new user tends to have difficulty understanding it, and this is the check for null values, right? So now the thing is, there is a difference between zero and null, right? This is the thing that we need to understand, right? How we can say this is like let's say consider the database columns as is like draws, right? It is a draw or it is an empty space. So if I put 0 here, right, then this is not null. You have a value stored in this and that value is 0. But if it is empty, there is nothing in it, then it is null, right? So null is not equals to 0. 0 is a value which is stored in a box. This concept needs to be ingrained in you, because this is the most confusing thing that beginner programmer tends to have. I also had certain times that if it is written 0, why we are not considering null. So by null means there is nothing, it is empty, it is blank, right? So how do we check for null and not null? Is by using the condition column name is null or is not null, right? So if you select is null, then the database will select all the rows with the specific column value is null, that there is nothing present in that column. And if you put the condition is not null, then it will select all the values from the table which have certain values, right? And after that we use an order by. See, by order by means that we want our results to be in a certain sequence, and for that sequence you can select any column name, and if you put ASC or ascending, it will sort out the result in ascending form, and if you put in DESC descending, it will sort out the results in descending form, right? So when we do certain exercises, we will be able to better clear out our concepts on this. So the exercise is your HR manager asks you to provide him with the information of about employees who reports to manager 114, right? Okay, so manager 114, and from where I can get is manager ID is present in employees table. So it is a simple exercise. uh, Select all the information from HR.employees where manager ID is equal to 114. If I run it, manager ID, manager spelling is wrong, my bad. So these are the employees who are reporting to manager 114. Please try this. Are you guys trying this? Okay, Shams, thank you. Thank you, Wasim. Mandisa, were you able to do this? Okay. So, Mandisa, the exercise is you need to select all the information of employees whose manager ID is 114. Okay, you were able to do this. So, the next question is HR manager needs first name, last name, department ID of employees that do not get commission. This is the first part, and display the names in alphabetical order. So this will be the most interesting and most complex exercise till date that we need to do, and it will require all of the previous learnings that we have acquired from, right? So he needs first name, last name, department ID. So first of all, let's see which table we will use. So he need first name, last name, and department ID. So employees table cover this thing, right? And the condition is that they do not get commission, right? So now we need to check if the employees table have the information for commission. Yes, we have commission, and this is commission percentage, right? And then the last thing is he requires the information where last names are in an alphabetical order, right? So let's try to formulate a query for that. So select, first of all we will see what information the manager require. He require first name, last name, department ID, right? First name, last name, department ID, right? So this is the information that was required by the manager. This is the only information required by the manager, but I am including another column just to see if my condition is working, and the condition was that commission should be 0, and for commission that means commission percentage should be null. So I am including commission underscore percentage column as well, in order to just see if my condition is working from HR dot employees, right? Now I need to put the condition. The condition is where commission percentage is null. Let's run this query and see if it is working or not. So table or view employees, my bad, right? Now you see the commission percentage is null, so it selected all the information where commission percentage is null, and if I put is not null, then it will select all the information of employees who have the commission percentage, right? So since the question required the all the employees that do not get any commission, then their commission percentage should be null. And the last condition of this question was that the list need to be displayed with their last name in alphabetical order, right? So order by last name, right? And ascending means in alphabetical order from A to Z. Now currently you see it is not in orderly form. So if I run this, so now the database provided me the query with the last name in alphabetical form, right? And the commission percentage is null, so all of our uh, requirements are met. So this is so by far the most complex thing that you have to do in these two sessions. Please try this. We need to have practice on this, and we should be able to do this, otherwise all the things coming forward in the next few classes will go in vain. So So guys, I have my electricity turned off, so this will be all for today. And we have two questions remaining, and I will ask you to practice this at home, and try to do the practice, and we will be connecting again tomorrow. And see you tomorrow's class. I will put up the recording and everything on the I will have the recording put up on the website, and you can practice it all. I will be available on Slack, and I will be available on WhatsApp. If you have any query, please feel free to have questions there, and I will answer you all. But we will meet tomorrow, right? And do practice the remaining exercise questions there, and do practice everything, because tomorrow will be a complex one. So thank you.